Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video, which will be more TV based than usual. We obviously cover a lot of movies on the podcast. We've gone rogue very occasionally with some TV fare. I believe the main one was Brass Eye, because Craig wanted us all to enjoy Brass Eye, which we did. And in the cinema room before, I have shown box sets that I own, varying from The Wire, Justified Deadwood, to Columbo, Psych, Frasier, Friends, a lot of BBC fare, the really nice Twin Peaks from Z to A set that I own. I did recently pick up the Batman sets. I can't recall if I mentioned that. And yeah, David mentioned V on the podcast, and I said that I was glad I picked up this set. I mean, this was about, I think, £15. £15 for basically the complete collection of the old show. The original mini-series as V, The Final Battle, and V, The Complete Series. So I know that it goes on a bit longer than wherever I remember it ending as a youngster, because I've since rewatched the show as an adult, but we're talking still about 20 years ago. And where I thought it had ended was one of the endings, but then the other series carried on the tail. So I'm looking forward to revisiting that. But V was big, major event TV when it landed, and I decided that this video should mention some of the TV that I really enjoy, just because, as well as cinema, we tend to, enjoy a bit of TV now, especially, I would say, anthology shows. Give me one moment. There are two kinds of people in the world: those who believe the Twilight Zone is the greatest TV show ever made, and those who are wrong. The Twilight Zone is just, for me, peak TV. Even, I believe it's season 4 where the format changed to longer episodes. Less successful, just not as good. But the other seasons, there's a lot of gold in here. And these sets, I can't recall if there's one individual set with all of them, but these are loaded with commentaries, radio talks or radio plays as well, different excerpts from interviews, and great stuff. If you have those, and if you have the book maybe of the Twilight Zone companion, then you're all set. In a lesser way, but also enjoyable, here we go. DVD only, but it's the Twilight Zone from the 80s is the other one that I recall. And I was gifted this by my ex-wife a few years ago. She knew I was a big Twilight Zone fan. This was a very welcome gift, and obviously it doesn't really stack up alongside the original show, but it has a lot of interesting guest stars. A lot of people tried their hand at directing in this series. It's has a good mix of old tales and some that, to me anyway, felt new. It's been a long time since I've dived into this one, but it's definitely worth your time if you're a film fan as well. I mean, directors here include Wes Craven, Tommy Lee Wallace, Joe Dante, William Friedkin. There's quite a mix, and I highly recommend it. Once more, let's go adjacent to the Twilight Zone with Night Gallery. Now again, Night Gallery is not as good as the Twilight Zone, but the creepiest moments of Night Gallery are creepier than anything in the Twilight Zone, even if it is just Rod Serling walking about the titular Night Gallery and looking at paintings. It's really good. There are a lot of people, again, involved that are recognisable names, and in front of and behind the camera, and it's been a favourite of mine, and most people will remember the Night Gallery version of Pickman's Model, I believe, is the one that I think is seared in a lot of people's memories. So, a couple more to go here. This is, if you are unsure of the Spanish Tales from the Crypt, it's basically the only way I could get a complete box set that would play in my player. It's a Spanish version. It was a good price. Has some nice postcards in there. Let me just as you can see, nice little selection. The discs are just, you know, decently stored in there, and I, like many other people, really enjoy Tales from the Crypt, because who doesn't love a cackling crypt keeper and all the EC inspired nastiness that is in this show. There are, I think, better versions with American companies having released them. I'm not sure if there are any other different British or European versions, but this is one that I went for, and as I say, it was a good price. It's got everything in there. It keeps me happy. Just a couple to go. Two that I'm unfamiliar with, actually. If anybody can let me know the standouts from Tales from the Dark Side, which I'd heard good things about over the years. So again, that was available complete and at a good price. So I figured, what the hell, I'm going for that. I love an anthology tale. And Out of the Unknown, I'm not even sure if this will be available by the time you see this video. I had a heads up that it was about to be sold out on the BFI website. So it's either gone from there for good now, or you may still be able to pick up some copies from Amazon or third-party sellers. And it has a very good reputation. So Out of the Unknown is one that I think fans of anthology TV would recommend to others. Last but by no means least, let's bring this bad boy up. Of course, it's the X-Files. And yes, this is an older box set that only goes up to season 9 with the movies in there. It is, I think it's only DVD. I don't think it's Blu-ray that I got, but I invested a lot of money in this. Funnily enough, with the X-Files, I've spent a lot on the X-Files over the years. They used to have the special VHS releases with a couple of tied episodes in there, or you could buy some of the just episodes individually. You could never get a full season. And then eventually with DVD you got season box sets, and you also then eventually got to this stage where you could buy this at quite a good price and have the whole lot. So when they were announcing another season coming along, I just figured, what the hell, I'll go for this. I'll eventually make my way through them. I think I've seen the first 2 seasons at least 3 times each. But beyond that, it gets very spotty. And I've seen the odd episode that I've enjoyed, and I knew some of the story arcs that were going. But, you know, as you may have guessed from my love of the Twilight Zone and the other shows, I kind of preferred the one-off stories. And when it got too bogged down in the big conspiracy theory and the aliens that are coming down to be with us, it was still a good show because I liked Mulder and Scully and the other characters around them, but it never grabbed me as much as anything else I could check out that was on at that time, which could have been newer Twilight Zones, could have been The Outer Limits, could have been all these different anthology shows that would have entertained me without some massive overarching storyline about aliens coming to abduct us and probe us and generally give us a hard time. But that's it for now. You know, there are so many others I could have gone through. There's Hammer House of Horror. People will have their own things that they want to mention. There's the new Twilight Zone. I don't know if there's been a physical media release for that yet. There are, although it's not sort of standalone episodes, there's the League of Gentlemen from BBC, and then of course Inside Number 9, which stands up as each individual episode with the setting being the number 9, the location. And I think we still have a lot to enjoy, whether it is ongoing TV storylines, which reminds me I need to get back into the final season of Better Call Saul, or anthology shows such as Inside Number 9, Twilight Zone. I still need to check out Lovecraft Country. Castle Rock had me intrigued, and I'm sure there was something else. Unsurprisingly, it's out of my mind just now. So I'm going to pop these back. I don't know when I'm going to get to work my way through them, as ever, but I hope there are some other fans of those shows out there. It's always nice to see some of the box sets getting a little bit of breathing space. You can mention some favourites in the comments, and we shall see you next week. Look forward to the podcast.